In this video, we're going to talk about failure and why it's important, even if you think, man, I do not want to fail. So the reason that failing is important is because without failing, you will never learn anything. Think about the life that you've already lived to this point. Bet you've gone through hundreds of thousands of failures, even if they're just micro failures. They didn't even really have a deep impact on your life. It's still a failure. But the one thing that most of us do is we learn from our failures, because, if you keep making the same mistake over and over again, that kind of just makes you an idiot. So don't be an idiot. So I've been through so many failures, and I feel like they did affect my life, man. Done some crazy things. And so failure is there so that you can learn from failure. And in my journey so far, I feel like I've failed at everything, man. Like, even getting into the business of marketing. Me, Seth, and Ben, when we first decided to start this business, we quit our jobs and we were like, man, we're gonna get rich. But we didn't have any customers, we didn't have any prospects, and we had no business knowledge. So I think we were a little delusional to think we were gonna get rich in the first 1 month. So anyways, we gathered together 7,000 American dollars and went with this company called Vendesta. And so Vendesta was supposed to be like a fulfillment company where we paid them the 7,000 USD. They were supposed to build 7 websites for the clients that we were gonna go and sell. So those 7 websites, our goal was to sell them each at $2,000 to bring us 14,000 in so that we could pay for the 7 and then keep going with the fulfillment system. But this was the biggest failure, because we sold those 7 websites for way below what we thought we could sell them for. So we sold the first one for like 600, and we went into the meeting saying it was going to be for 2,000, but it never worked. We got 600 for it, and we did that same thing. So I think we broke even on the 7,000 that we spent with Vendesta. And so my point is that we pissed off those first 7 customers because Vendesta built those websites terribly slow. We didn't have a process down, and man, the outcome of the projects weren't actually written out on paper on what the end result was going to be. So that was our first failure. We had to go and pivot. We didn't have our jobs, we had no income, and we had to figure it out. So what we did was we went and sold more customers, and then we went and hired a really, really good website developer, and they did probably 10 or 20 websites, and they did a great job. Our customers were loving it, but the timeline was pretty long for those projects. And so ultimately that guy, he got lazy, fat, and happy because he was from a different country. We were paying him $1,000 plus per website, and over the course of time we gave this guy about 30,000 bucks. And then what happened was a bunch of the projects still never got done because this guy kept on building out the first drafts of the new ones, and then he never would finish the other ones. So then we had another failure, and we had to figure out how to do it. And so then we actually figured out how we could do it ourselves. And then we learned that we couldn't actually grow our business if we were building it ourselves. We had just bought ourselves a job. And so what we did was we went and hired more website developers. And you could probably see where this story's going. We have failed hundreds of times to get to this level. And I predict we're gonna fail another hundreds of times to get to the next level. But all I know for sure is through persistence, dedication, and following the roadmap, we are going to get to where we want to go, and we're going to get our customers to where they want to go as well, which is the most amazing thing. But now think about it like this, guys. If I would have never made one failure, do you think I would have ever have this knowledge to get to this level? Never. And so failure is inevitable. Push to failure, because look, man, your failures don't define who you are. At the end of the day, your actions after your failure define who you are, because that'll show what kind of person you really are. And so I've struggled a lot with failure. I mean, people have told me I should go kill myself. They told me all these bad things, but failure is just part of the journey, because it doesn't matter what other people think about you. It just matters on who you are and what your mission is because your life affects other people. And when somebody comes back to you with negative things about you, you just have to put them to the side And then just understand that's who they are, that's their character, and you can distance yourself from those people. Because there's a thing that I learned here really recently. So imagine you have a circle, right? Pretend the circle is you. You're never going to outgrow you because you're you. But as an example, let's say there's somebody who's accomplished 100 times more than you. Their circle is substantially bigger because they know more and they've done more. And so if your circle is this big and their circle is this big, you need to have a mentor to show you the way, the right actions to take, the right steps to put in, the right processes to implement. And if you do that, you will be able to expand your circle, your network, the people around you. And that's the coolest thing. I had a big problem with the local community after I failed my first business, because I felt like it was one big clique. And I'm a young business owner, right? And I was 2 years younger at that time. And so I thought people would be more supportive and help the small, the young small business owner who's making his start. But that's not quite how I found it. I found that the community has like older money and new money, if that even makes sense. Like people have been in that for 50 years, generational businesses. They think that they are the dominators, but the only problem that they don't understand is they're antiquated in their marketing and how they're servicing their customers, and they're just trying to impress the local community. But what I can tell you is that if you service hundreds of thousands of people and you have a bigger mission, you're never going to be judging someone else for the hard work that they're putting in. And so I've never had somebody who's more successful than me say, hey man, stop working so hard, stop traveling to meet more connections. Like, they love it. In fact, they say, man, I wish I was your age when I started, right? And so that's the video today. I just want to talk a little bit about failure. This journey is definitely not as easy as it looks. I mean, man, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of 17-hour days, a lot of times where you think, am I doing the right thing? But at the end of the day, persistence always wins. And I know for sure that's ultimately all you need is persistence, and never give up. It doesn't matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter your industry. You just have to keep pushing. And the more people that know you, the more people that will buy from you. So let's keep making great connections. Let's push till failure. Follow my channel, like this video, and share it to a friend who just went through failure and needs a little pick me up.